Today's video subject is kind of different from the normal that I would post. I would like to today speak about eating, as it is a big part of our complete well-being, as a support element, as a necessary element supporting our complete well-being alongside with spiritual and physical well-being and mental. We often as humans have this misconception that we label certain kind of foods as bad or good. Certain kind of foods that we can eat and certain that we should definitely avoid. But it took me also a long time to understand that there is no necessarily only good or bad food. Others are just more useful than others and more are just little bit harming than others. Or necessarily not harming, but they are taking away the possibility for you to eat those healthier foods, because you have that limited capacity every day to eat certain amount of food, and those excess food is causing harm to you, overweight and certain kind of diseases. So the main message about today is that about eating it is only about eating as a whole healthy. There are no necessary certain kind of foods that you should avoid. It is only about the entirety what you eat. So for example, if you're eating certain kind of foods that are not serving you so good, you are just taking away the space for you to eat those healthy foods. So it is only about balancing about your eating. If you're eating something unhealthy, so-called unhealthy, you have to balance it out for eating more healthy in other times. You can always eat those unhealthy foods, but there have to be certain kind of limits on those. The most of the time you should always eat those healthy foods, and those healthy foods will make space for certain kind of not so good foods you to use. You have the daily limit always, how much calories and certain kind of subjects you can gain, and you can understand that those unhealthy foods, either they don't give you so much, but they fill you so much, or they give too excessively something and then take you away to above certain kind of limits. And that is the thing that we should remember and understand. That for example, if you are eating so much healthy foods, let's say 1 week you eat 6 times not 6 times, but 6 days a healthy foods. You can then, the last day on that week, basically eat whatever you want, and it wouldn't cause you kind of harm, because you have always that overall needs limits, and you have made space for those unhealthy foods by eating so long those healthy foods. And that is how this eating for us is working. So you shouldn't be so judgmental always if you're eating so-called unhealthy foods or something you know that is not serving you. There is nothing bad with that and wrong with that if you are just keeping those amounts in certain kind of limits that are well known and that are placed correctly to your needs, to your body. And it is such a beautifully created, planned, our bodies, that we should always prioritize to eating healthy, but also without discarding our own enjoy, our satisfaction and pleasures, so that there would be always that margin place for certain amounts of unhealthy foods, so only what your mind, your body wants. Those things that are not necessarily good for you, but what you want for your own satisfaction. And so overall, our goal is always just to keep these things in mind and certain kind of limits, in correct limits. Always prioritizing eating healthy, but also prioritizing your well-being, and that includes your needs and wants, your happiness. And of course we can use the food also in social environments as a bonding tool, something to do together. So don't be too judgmental to you. You can keep track on these things, and then you know what you are, what you deserve, and is it truly unhealthy or healthy for you. At least in Finland, where I live, and in our grocery stores, everything that we can buy, those things are all certain kind of restrictions placed upon, and they are in certain way all healthy foods when consumed with consciously, with rationality in mind. Of course, there are always subjects and certain kind of things that is not healthy at all for you, that you should always avoid, but I mean that all those things that you get, those normal grocery stores, should always be in some extent healthy for you and good for you. And if you follow these guidelines and restrictions and limits that I have talked about this video, then there is nothing wrong with that in your eating, in your taking care of your body. And it is always about balancing in every aspect in your life completely too. So never forget these things, and I want to thank you again being with me today as always. And if you're interested about personal coaching, I'm offering that constantly. If you need some kind of help in certain kind of areas. But thank you so much being with me today, and hope you all the best as always. Take care.